Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics, where I am rolling along on the 77 Malibu Classic, and this is episode 4. Last episode we got the roof on there. It's all welded up. Got all the front glass and side glass mounted in there with urethane. Painted the deck lid, deck jamb, mounted the deck lid on there. Just waiting on the weather strip. Okay, there's the parts car. This episode, we got brand new quarter panels put on this. But we got a lot of work to do before we put the quarter panels on. Wheel well. 10 years ago I had put in a big patch here and a big patch there, and it's where it's all rotted. So we're gonna have to, we either make something or we cut this section out of the parts car, which we'll probably do, and splice it in there. So we want to get this all ready to put the new quarter on, which means grinding it all where it's going to be welded up. Okay, so we'll do that here in a little bit. Last episode I mentioned my local paint store. They sell some of this old Nissan 2K, and this is the silver metallic I painted the 78 Nova with a couple years ago, and I went back there this morning to check what they had. They yeah, they still got a bunch of gallons, but not very many common colors. But there was some like maroon, pearl stuff, and there was some good colors that would be very expensive. But anyway, I want them to check. Now you can see there, whatever number this is like, it's called a factory pack. Just like this is just black, pewter metallic. That's 69 Chevelle. I got this one and this one off of them a couple years ago for 60 bucks a gallon. Painted the 69 Chevelle that, 78 Nova that, silver. So yeah, I went back there, checked it, and they had a gallon of okay, so that's called the factory pack. So I asked him about that. I said, how much? I want to check out the prices. How much is the factory pack of that, you know, so you don't have to mix it or anything, because once they start mixing, then the price goes way up, as I mentioned before. He says they don't make factory packs anymore. They probably do it for black. He said we got to mix everything. I think they probably do that to make more money, which sucks. So for him to mix up a gallon of that, I told him code 13, and I said it looks just like this silver metallic. But anyway, he looked up the code 13, which that was in 77, $279. So 300 bucks to mix up 1 gallon of the single stage 2K urethane. So we went in the back room and checked. Seen this one here. He picked it out, sterling metallic. So you can tell by the can, it's a little rusty, dusty. He put it on the shaker, shaked it up, opened it up. It looked just like the silver metallic. I'm sure there's something different about it. But anyway, when he went to ring it up, oh, how about 75? I said, yeah, okay. I was gonna say, hey, last time he just sold it to me for 60. So I said, yeah, we need some hardener. This hardener, 85 bucks just for the hardener. He said, oh, put the hardener down as 75 each, so 150 just for this. So yeah, I did get 15 bucks off anyway. No, that doesn't include reducer. You're gonna thin it down with reducer, but those are the two main ingredients. So yeah, if you were to buy $279.85, that's like 400 bucks. Reducer, a little over 400. You're looking about 400 for paint, just for the 2K single stage. That's not expensive base coat, clear coat, DuPont, whatever. That would probably cost twice as much. So this is the best, cheapest way to go, 400. But of course, like I said, you got to hunt around. A lot of paint stores will have that. Or what they also have is stuff that shops call in. Oh, I need a gallon of this or a quart of this, and they mix it up, and either it doesn't match or they don't pick it up or something like that. They'll actually have a whole shelf of that old paint. Some places may throw it away. Some of them will just sell it to you for pennies on the dollar. I meant to ask him about that, all that, but I'm not in the paint business. I would I would buy all the stuff from them and resell it or save it, but not right now. So anyway, that's what we got. Haven't decided whether we're going to paint the whole thing silver or black yet, but a pretty damn good deal there, so I bought that. If anything, we could use it for stripes. How about black with two big silver stripes, like the 78 Nova's got silver with black stripes? Make this opposite. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Okay, so went to O'Reilly's and AutoZone for the vinyl paint, because I do sell some, but it's just like black, charcoal, sometimes a beige color. And I don't know, they act, guy at O'Reilly's, I said, listen, you got this vinyl paint on the shelf. Do you sell any other colors that you can order? He didn't know what the hell I was talking about. I had to explain it to him 2 or 3 times, and he's on the computer for like 10 minutes. I picked up some rear end fluid, this rear end fluid. I said, listen, don't worry about it. Let me pay for this rear end fluid and get out of here. Oh yeah, there's white pearls, there's this and that, and I can't, just everything but. I said, everything but what? I said, listen, he's like, we don't sell vinyl paint. I said, listen, you got a shelf with vinyl paint on there, some beige, black, charcoal. I said, can you get red? This is the 4th time I told him. I said, but listen, don't worry about it. I'll pay for the rear end fluid and get out of here. So the paint store, auto parts store that I went and bought this from, right on the shelf, there it was, Firethorn Red. And that's why I looked it up on the internet. This is $21 a can off eBay, and theirs was 20 bucks. So, and they actually have another can. I don't really want to spend 60 bucks. 2 cans my limit. But yeah, SEM is the only one that has it. They got the other, I don't know, not Duplicolor, but the other brand with common colors, black, gray, beige, for $12.99. But they don't have this Firethorn Red. Okay, so anyway, I got 2 cans for now, and that's what we're gonna repaint. This plastic here, this rear plastic here, and probably the door panels. Should have enough, but you don't know. You don't know how good it's covered. See, he's already had all this painted before, so we have to sand her down real good. And yeah, I figure I'll put all this back together. I might as well paint it. So we'll start with the back sections, and then we'll work our way up to the door panels later on. See here, he's work our way and paint that later, maybe. Like, he must have the dash cover painted too. Okay, went to ask about some weld through primer. I'd like to use it, but I know why I don't anymore. A little can like this, weld through primer, 73 bucks. 73 bucks. And I said, nah, I said, put that back on the shelf. So we're gonna do this without weld through primer, but we're gonna have to get at it. See, I can get at it in here and through here, and once it's welded on there, you gotta really get in there with some just cheap black paint or something, primer, and just cover it all. Reach in up to here, reach in the trunk once it's welded on here, and just cover it. I just can't justify 73 bucks for a can of weld through primer. But anyway, we're gonna get it. I'd like to protect it real good. Plus, I don't really like welding on that weld through primer. It doesn't work very good. I mean, the welding part of it, it just feels like it's not sticking as good as it should. Okay, got the power steering hose at AutoZone, 22 bucks, I think it was. I'll put that on here in a little while. Okay, just figured I'd go through all that. Yeah, like I said in the other video, I could probably get some silver metallic and acrylic enamel, cheaper metallic, with the whole kit, which is paint, hardener, reducer, for probably, you know, 150, 200 bucks off eBay. But I don't want to risk it, because the sun will bake that silver metallic on cheap paint right off, way faster than it would a solid color like white, black. So that's why I didn't want to go with cheap paint on this car. It's way too much to redo a car, you know. And this stuff here will last you 10 years before it even, you don't even have to wax it or anything. Just, it'll stay shiny for, I got cars here 10 years old that are still shiny. Okay, so, okay, I think that's all I wanted to go over. Sorry about the rambling, but I'm very detailed on these builds of going over every little thing there that I buy and what I'm doing to it. Okay, so we got the major things. We want to put the quarters on this, and then I want to put the interior kind of back together. This, we're gonna put the headliner in without any of the backing or anything. I'm not gonna bother. I may spray a little rust neutralizer up in these squares, help it out a little bit, but she's pretty solid, 100% better than what was in here. Okay, I'm gonna build a package tray out of cardboard. They had a couple in here that's all warped. I don't know how cardboard does, whether it'll warp. Well, it gets all warped and everything from water leaking in there. So this thing is just used 2 tubes of urethane. She's sealed up. She ain't gonna leak a drop. In fact, we're gonna check later on, after we get the quarters and the car and primer or whatever. We're gonna go around it with a water hose and really spray it good and make sure that there's no leaks, that there shouldn't be. Like I said, I went a little overboard with that urethane, put it on there real thick and smushed it all in there with my finger. So as long as there's no leaks, I think a piece of cardboard will be fine. But the speakers, the tweeter cones were all shot, so I think I got another set of speakers, and we'll cut some holes in the cardboard and put in rear speakers and the package tray. Well, the cardboard, we're going to cover it with some vinyl. I got a bunch of vinyl, and we're going to cover that, then mount all that in there, and then we can start with these plastic panels and the back seat and all that. These panels up here and the headliner. So we'll try to get that done too. Depends on, might do 1/4 panel, then switch to the interior, because I'm tired of doing quarter panels. But yeah, I think I threw the speakers. I think these are the speakers here. See, little tweeter cones. Well, yeah, so best to replace them. Okay, so let me get rolling with this quarter panel here. I got most of the stuff cut away from from that one. This one here, I'll have to cut away all the rest of the quarter panel metal. We'll go over that. This one I got trimmed up, almost ready to go. So let me get rolling on this and I will be back. Okay guys, first off we're going to use a Scotch pad and sand all the inside of these quarter panels. And what I like to do is paint all this. I got some cheap black paint and we're going to paint all that black in there, protect it. A lot of people don't do that with new parts. They just leave this thing etch coat on there, and e-coat, whatever you want to call it, and it'll rust out in no time. So I'm going to scrape off these stickers. I'm going to paint them all black, and then wherever we welded on, like the door jamb here, we just use a little die grinder and cutting wheel or whatever after we drill the holes to weld it, and just grind it front and back. Then we weld it on there. And then the rest of it will all be painted. Okay, so let me scuff them up, get some paint. We'll paint them. I'll be back. Okay guys, I got a couple of coats of black on the inner quarter panels. Okay, parts car here. It does got a rust hole right there that was underneath the chrome. This piece here. So I'd like to put all this back on there. It had a little round clip there, but that one was missing. I don't know if it's in Art's car or not. See, Art's car had all this chrome, but it was so rusted out that somebody took it all off and bondoed it up. Okay, every one of these wheel well moldings on this car and that car looks like this. Looks like complete garbage. So I don't know if you can get them new. I got a new set for my 70 Le Mans over there a while back. They may make them for this, but I'm not sure. Anyway, all these screws are had to take a hammer and a chisel to start them. They're just so in there. Anyway, I'm just going to cut them here instead of fighting with these rest of these screws. I'm going to cut out this section here of the wheel well and this section here. Okay, and then weld them on here. This one definitely needs it. This one here is been patched up. I probably did that 10 years ago. It's probably okay, but might as well get the factory correct one stick in there. So let me cut this up and get these off there. I'll be back. Okay guys, this is the this is the piece. It was right there. Chiseled that off. I think I'm gonna leave this piece on there, but yeah, this is all the caulking stuff. I grind all that off, grind it all down real good, trim it up, and then we can we'll go in there like that. We'll just tack it in there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I cut all this crap out of there, and we're going to put it in there something like that. Okay, so let me clamp that in there, tack it in there, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I just got it set up there. It's gonna need some trimming. I've already been trimming it a little bit, right up in here, and see it sticks out right here. Now I'm trying to line it up to this door, which I think is good. It does, the door pins don't seem loose, good gap. See, so where it sticks out, it looks a little thick right there. So I think it's going to have to be trimmed across there, and then this is going to have to be cut and welded right in there somewhere. Already had to cut this one. This one was like square there, so I had to cut this line up like that so it fits in there. Okay, let me take it off. Okay, here's the piece I welded on there. She's solid, and so it fits there. Now, I did patch this panel in 10 years ago, or some little pieces in here, but this is kind of rotten here, and this is supposed to go all the way down to here. It's cut off there, and she is a little weak. So I was going to cut off this section here just like I did the back, and then maybe this section, I don't know, I'm going to see, because this is kind of weak in here. I put some seam sealer in those rust holes there, and up there. I was putting some seam sealer on the couple little spots on the trunk jamb, so I just used up the rest of the thing. So anyway, I'm going to try to reinforce this a little bit better and cut this out, and anyway, get this area here ready for it to slide on and fit nice and snug. And then we'll go over it and grind all this out and coat it. Everything's going to be coated before we put the quarter panel on. Put the quarter panel line it up and drill a bunch of holes to weld it around the wheel wells, door jamb, and the bottoms here. So I still got a ways to go. I just put this back up. We put that blanket on so Nikki don't run into it and hurt herself. Yeah, you can see how this piece goes all the way pretty much down. I may cut it in here, splice it in there, because this area here is all rusty. Already grounded a little bit. It's all kind of in that hole there, so I may cut it right in here. Anyway, let me get my get the cutting wheel out and cut off that section there. See how bad it is. I said it's got some rust right in here. We don't know if it's, I don't think it's all the way in the wheel well. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, I cut this out here. We're going to splice that in. That just tacked onto this here. And then cut out this and cut it off right flush with that. So I'm going to have to grind all this, clean it all up. Yeah, let me clean it all up with a grinder and I'll be back. Okay, guys, this is what I cut out. It's in there like that, and you can see the other patch was over top of that, bunch of seam sealer and stuff. But yeah, when you take your car into the body shop, oh, I just want a quarter panel. Yeah, well, you can see all this extra damage here. Wheel wells. Yeah, you could get another wheel well, but then you got this damage here to the jam and everything. So anyway, this is the piece that's going to go on. It slides in there, and it's going to butt up to there. That actually goes. So I'm gonna weld that on there, and then we'll get to this piece. You can see this was all rotted here. We'll see what we can do. It's supposed to go all the way down to there. So see if we can get that and weld it right there, and splice in this jam. Splicing the jam right in here, because like I said, this is too. Yeah, I could probably make it stick, but there's a hole there. It's just so rotted. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys. I cut this out. That was in there like that somehow. Yeah, it was just a little too rusty to weld to. Okay, so this piece lines up, and then I vice gripped it up there and at the bottom, and just went ahead and cut that line right there all the way down. So that's just going to be butted up against there, and that's where I'm going to weld it. And then get a good weld at the bottom there. It goes right there. I'm going to weld it up in there. Okay, so weld on that piece and that piece. And this little piece here was just hanging there. I guess I'd cut the spot welds, or not very good, so I just cut that off. So it's pretty solid underneath there. I didn't want to grind all the rest of these welds off, so I think it'll be all right to re-weld the new quarter too. Okay, let me clamp these on there and weld them two pieces in there, and then I think we'll get to coating pour 15 all the areas. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys. It's much stronger now. Before, this would move. So she's solid. This is solid. Got something to weld to now. Okay. I mix up a little bit of Dynaglass, Bondo glass, and skim it along there for any little. There'll be a few little pinholes in there, but I'm not going to keep welding and welding up. Okay, so I'm going to fit the quarter panel on there 4 or 5 times. Make sure we got a nice fit everywhere. Like I said, I may have to cut up here a little bit, and the edge of this edge here have to be cut down a little bit. Make sure the back line's up, get it all clamped on there, or a few screws or clamps holding it on, and then we got the rear deal here. We're going to make sure that's nice and fits nice and flush before we do any welding. Make sure all that fits. So, and then before that, or after that, after it fits, I'm going to get some pour 15 and pour 15 all these areas, all on the inside. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay guys, next day. I'm getting a late start. I had a bunch of stuff to do this morning, so I didn't do anything, and then it's 98 degrees, blistering hot, still friggin' sunny out, but I'm gonna get after it. Might have to do a late night, get the floodlights out or something, because Need to get rolling on this. I forget where I left off, but I coated all these patches and everything with Pour 15. So the new quarter fitted up there a few times. It's pretty much where I'm going to cut it, butt weld it up against here. Got the little deal here to guide it where it's going to fit. Got all the holes drilled in here. It's where I'm going to spot weld it. And yeah, I know I got way too many holes in there, but I like to do two or three times more spot welds than factory. So that's the door jamb. That's the bottom, the rocker, wheel well. This is just going to be butted right across here to that bottom lip. I'm going to be grinding that. That just goes to here. Okay, and same with this back piece. I cut out a little section there. But yeah, so far just doing the wheel well work and prepping this and all that. 8 hours worth of work so far. And I'm not even close to be finished with just this one side. Takes a long time. Yeah, like I said, welded in there. That's a little bit of Bondo filler there. Filled the little pinholes. And I just pour 15 in behind it. I'm going to weld up this right here. It's going to be a little tricky welding that in. Anyway, that I'm going to leave ground like that. But other spots around the wheel well, I'm just going to mark with put the quarter panel up there, mark with a marker, and just grind off the areas where I'm going to spot weld. Yeah, before anybody mentions it, I looked on eBay for a weld through primer, and I ordered a can for 17 bucks. Like I said, at the paint store it was 73. But yeah, it won't be here for 3 or 4 days, so it's weekends here, so who knows when it'll show up. Maybe for the other side, might have it by then. But anyway, yeah, I need to grind that down, grind down this area. We're gonna weld it up in here. The lip goes right to the edge of the holes there, so it's gonna be welded in there. You grind down that area, fit it up there one more time, then cut out, like I said, cut out this area here. And I think we're just going to butt weld it up there. Sometimes I'll put a piece of backing metal behind that, like cut it, and then put about an inch strip of metal halfway to each one. Give it a little backing so you don't have a bunch of weld looking crap in there. Because like I said, it's using a flex core welder, so it looks a little sloppy. Yeah, so I'm gonna do it. You could do it below here, but if I did it below this body line, it would be all warped. This less likely to get warped doing it here, and even if I do, just have to spread Bondo like that instead of trying to. That whole quarter panel would be warped. It would just be a mess trying to straighten that out. So I'm kind of glad that it did go over this body line there. So that's where we'll join it. So anyway, she's almost ready to weld on there. So let me do some more fitting, cutting, and grinding where the welds are going to be, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I was out here late last night welding and grinding. That's what I got so far. Got her all welded in here, ground down. Across here, it's a little bit bowed because of that patch I put in below the window, so it's kind of up right here, but we can get her down a little bit. So yeah, anyway, pretty much all the way across here. Just got to keep going over little pinholes and stuff. I kind of screwed up right there. I was cutting it in the dark along the line, and I veered off over here. But anyway, it's got a dent right there from it being warped in this area. This is not bad, but I think she's down a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell. It's supposed to be a little bit of a, but that's okay. I still got all this bottom here to weld. This fits pretty good, I believe. I have to grind off all this area here. And we'll just use that to fits pretty good. Right, a little bit more there. And what did I do? Oh, I welded in there. Just got to weld in this side, this area here, and the bottom. Couldn't do that in the dark. I was mainly concentrating on this area here. Okay, let me do some more welding and grinding until it gets 98 degrees and can't bear it no more. That sun's coming up. It's 7:30 in the morning, but okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I just did a bunch more welding. Getting ready to mix up a little Bondo glass, and I'm just going to go over the welding seam, get any pinholes. Later on when we do the Bondo work, mainly these doors. These doors, they're rust free, but they're dented up. So it's going to be a lot of Bondo work on that. Whenever I get to that, and the hood, we'll do all this. But right now we just want to get a little Bondo glass on there, maybe a little primer, and protect it until, you know, for the rain and morning dew and stuff. Yeah, she's all welded around the wheel well, around the bottom. She's on there solid. So yeah, we mix a little Bondo glass and I'll be back. Okay guys, let's put a little Dyna glass along there. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna sand that and prime it for now, or move on to this interior back deck and speakers and stuff. I ain't got much time. The sun's about to go down, but it's like 7:30. I usually come out here about 6, and it was just too friggin' hot. I think it was 99 today. So I was looking up these wheel well moldings. They are all beat to shit on this car and the gold one. So I look them up on eBay. $434.99. $435 plus tax. You know, these fucking people, I'll tell you. You want a set for a 67 Chevelle? Set of 4, $119. Why do they got to jack it up $330 for a 73 to 77? Doesn't make any sense. It's not the same company. In fact, the company, the seller is the Parts Place Inc. they are usually the cheapest. I've ordered a lot of stuff from them. If you go on eBay, they usually got stuff the cheapest. I think they're in Texas too. And they said, we finally found a supplier that will make these and sell them in sets of 4 for the 73 to 77 Chevelle and El Camino. But yeah, $435. They can stick it where the sun don't shine. So it's a shame, because I'd like to put all the chrome back on it. Oh, and I'm not going to put up dented up chrome on it. It'll, with a new paint job, it'll just look bad. Hey, these are all beat to hell. Rear dented there. So see, the thing is, this chrome, is it this one? I don't know. I don't know what I was. They kind of go down into a groove into that chrome, I believe. So if you just put that bottom chrome on there without the wheel well chrome, it'll look kind of funny at the bottom. So may just do a chrome delete and delete it all and do some type of stripe. I'll have to look up some pictures. Some people were saying, somebody says, yeah, delete the wheel well chrome and do the Laguna S3, or I don't know, some type of stripe. And I know what they mean. I'm pretty sure that's going to go two-tone now, guys. I think I'm going to paint it black with just 2 big wide stripes down the hood, roof, and trunk. And then we'll paint silver along the bottom and have it come up around here with a stripe all the way around the bottom. Instead of chrome, we're just going to paint silver. And why? Because those idiots want $435 for wheel well chrome. They can stick it. You know, I hate to, but I like to do it factory, but it'll look just as good painted. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now, guys. Okay, let me get a piece of cardboard cut out of that box that the quarter panels came in, and see if I can get that back deck. See if I got some 6x9 speakers. Maybe put in the headliner, paint some plastic pieces, and all that stuff. I don't really feel like starting on the other quarter right now, but I might. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, got a little body filler here. Anyway, I stopped on that, and this is what was in that package tray, the back deck. 2 of them. I don't know. He bought another one and put it over top the old one, but as you can see, they're just both warped to hell. So this is the thick box that the 2 quarter panels came in. So I cut a flat piece out of that, and it's a little bit bent right there, but I got this roll of material, and we're going to glue that over top. I already made sure that fits. I think I got some speakers in those boxes. I'm going to pull all this stuff apart in a little while, but it's kind of hard to do all this stuff in the dark. But anyway, at least I'll use some spray glue and at least get this glued on there. And then tomorrow morning we can put it in there, put the speakers in, and started. See all this red paint? It's been painted red before and it's all flaking. I started scraping this with a razor blade. You can see that. You got those 2 kind of bottom pieces, and then these 2 top pieces. You can see painted that too. So there's going to be a little bit of work prepping all that up, and we'll put the new spray paint on there, see how it does. So that's all the back stuff. Get that on there, get that on there, then put the back seat in, and we can go from there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I did have another set of 6x9 1200 watts STX. I can't remember what they were, 50 or 60 bucks for the pair. Not bad, really. So yeah, we'll put them in tomorrow. And got that covered. It's a little bit short. Hopefully the trim will cover that. Just the roll was just a little bit too short. But anyway, that down there with two new speakers should look pretty good. Nice red painted trim around it. So I don't know if I'm going to go in or attempt to scrape some more of this and paint these. But anyway, we'll see you later. So before I forget, these are the belt moldings that come in. Rock Auto's the cheapest. Some guy just sent me a link of his Chevelle, and he was gonna buy these for 200 bucks or something. No, they're 50 plus shipping. It was 70, when shipping, tax, everything, I think it was $74. So from Rock Auto. But they're the moldings that go on the door there. Yeah, I unpacked them to make sure they weren't bent or nothing. But anyway, these won't go on till maybe whenever I have them doors apart. I don't know. Either that or after it's painted, I'll do it. But anyway, I figured I'd just show you that. Oh, also the trunk rubber came in. This was 30 bucks. So we'll put that in too. And okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay guys, it's next morning. It's already a scorcher out at 9 in the morning. There's the back package tray. And pulled this down. He's got instead of having the speaker wires go up one end, one goes up this way, one goes up this way. And then there's a couple other wires that I think are the factory speaker wires. Anyway, I'm waiting on doing that because I'm fixing to spray a bunch of black paint. I decided to go ahead and Bondo up this area here. And to get this curve right, these are the middle of the roll for the DA paper. This DA paper here. And that's good for little areas like this. And then that was the last of the vinyl on the roll. And this is a piece of it here. So this is working out really good for getting this curve, because it's kind of like this, like a U shape. So I just keep working it like that, and it's coming out pretty damn straight, real straight. Just got a few little pinholes and stuff. Give it one more little skim and one more block, and yeah, I got a dent right here, but we're going to go ahead and fix that later on. So I'm getting ready to prime all these areas here. The door jamb, wheel well, back here. And then I'm going to spray some black paint, mainly all in the back here and all on top of this, or underneath of this. Spray it in there as best I can. Like I mentioned before, we'll spray some in here and through that hole there, get it all down as far as I can get the paint. And yeah, once that's done, I'll go ahead and put in the rear deck and the speakers and start putting this stuff back together. But okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got it in primer. Put a little black paint here. I'm gonna go ahead and put the molding, trim, and all that stuff all there. Paint a little black around this edge here. As much as I could on the inside. I'm gonna grab a spray can and see if I can reach in there a little bit farther. Got in behind the wheel wells there. Also put a little bit of seam sealer. I used seam sealer and just wiped it between the two pieces of metal, and did that all the way around the edges. So hopefully it'll keep the rain and stuff out of there, water. Okay, I'm about to melt, about 100 degrees out. I'll come back later and we'll do that back deck and speakers and go from there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, brake shoes look good. They look pretty new. The drum looks good. So I'm fixing to put the wheel back on. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, just put all this trim. You had to put the chrome on there, then the tracking holder thing for this rubber. And like I said, this rubber was new 10 years ago, but it's a little bit chewed up, but it'll seal. So didn't want to spend $100 on that. Okay, so did that, got that tire on there. He's got air shocks on it. I aired it up, but the car's kind of, this one's on concrete and this one's on grass. So if it was even, it would sit pretty good. So that's good. We'll leave them aired up and see if they leak. I can't hear any leaks. Okay, I got the speakers in there. It's missing one. Well, it's around somewhere. One screw there. That's a little nut for it up there. But anyway, that looks a lot better. We'll see if these speaker wires work. I hooked them up. But I think I'll end the video on that. I still got, it sun's down everything, but my shirt is friggin' drenched. Sweat. It's just friggin' hot, and I think I'm gonna get the spotlight out and put this, I still haven't put this power steering hose on there. So anyway, I'm gonna end this video at that, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the power steering hose right now, and we'll start the next video off. I'll start painting the interior pieces, and we'll get the other quarter panel on. I wanted to get both quarter panels on in one episode, and these I just sat on there. They line up pretty good. They're not bolted on there or nothing. Bottom piece and that piece. Can't put them on until after the taillights and stuff are in anyway. So anyway, pretty much 100% done, other than that one dent right there, but we'll pull that out with the right here with the dent puller thing when we start doing the doors. So yeah, it looks like a car on this side. This window's actually down a little bit because of the when I tried pulling it, putting them down, this one went down about a ½ inch. I did order 2 power window motors. It was like $100, $95 for the pair. They're on the way. Thought I had something else. Oh, that trunk weather stripping. I'll put that on later. But yeah, for now, I haven't looked at any pictures, but I pretty much know, like I said, I think I'm going to go silver stripes, silver around the wheel well, silver along the bottom with a stripe, silver with maybe a red stripe around it, and then the rest black. Tell me what you think on that. Yeah, it looks like a car on this side, but still, we still got to change this door over, which is a big job. And I'm going to hack away all that old Bondo and rust so you can see how much crap was on there. And then we got to check this fender out in the hood, like I said. But I'll do the other quarter like this quarter, and then we'll start on the door and front end and stuff. And this paint, it's been painted before, I think. Maybe not, maybe it was original. But anyway, it gums up the sandpaper, the DA paper. Gotta use a bunch of sandpaper to strip this. That's all right. We know. Well, the hood's gonna be a big. Yeah, it was original paint, but for some reason it's gumming up the sandpaper a little bit. You know, usually I could do one piece and do like the whole roof of a car, but this one I'll probably have to use 5 pieces. So anyway, we'll leave the video at that, guys, and subscribe if you haven't. Like, comment, share, all that stuff. And like I said, it looks like a car now, but yeah, it'll get there. We'll get the mechanical stuff done. Got the new ignition, and no, it's not the column thing there. All the way in park. Then this, I know what you mean, but this, it's in park. It did exactly the same as the 78 El Camino. You leave the ignition like that for 8-10 years, and it stays like that. I don't know why, but it did it on the 78 El Camino, and I tried everything. Finally, I had to take the thing apart and put in a new one, and it works great. So yeah, like I said, I can wiggle that around. You know, you can see it move. Just thinking about getting a new steering wheel. He's got this cover on there, probably because it's all gummed up. This is all kind of, well, I don't know, it might clean up. Anyway, I might buy a new steering wheel for it. I'm not into this for a lot of money. I can't foresee any big money being spent, so yeah, we can spend a little bit more on this. Well, it looks like new exhaust, but little thin, probably 2-inch single coming out. We need headers, we need duals, we need some glass packs or Flowmasters. Need an intake 4-barrel. Need to hop this up a little bit because it's gonna look pretty good. So yeah, we got that. That'll probably be not too bad. I think get headers for 100 and something, but 100 and something for turbo type mufflers. Anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. That's what we got going so far on it, guys. So yeah, come on back and we'll continue on with it. I didn't forget about the van. I'll get to the van when I get bored of this. Okay, so we'll see y'all next video. Thanks everybody for watching.